When I made my video the other day, a lot of people were wondering, like, is it really happening? And then they're saying, like, oh, specifically JD Vance. JD Vance had this interview. So this happened just after the debate last week, right? And this is what it was said.
I would say is he brought up this misleading false claim that you yourself have talked about in recent days about Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, abducting people's pets and eating them, which officials there have said is not true. You yourself acknowledged it may be false on Twitter. You still told people to keep spreading it.
So even the moderators of the debate were interrupting Trump when he was talking about they're eating dogs, eating cats, stuff like that. He got interrupted because they wanted to say this particular thing that state manager, something like that, some kind of social manager was saying, like, no, we don't have any reports of that happening.
But Trump just amplified it to tens of millions of people who were watching. Why push something that's not true?
Well, first of all, city officials have not said it's not true. They've said they don't have all the evidence.
They said they have no evidence.
We've heard from a number of constituents on the ground, Caitlin, who both firsthand and secondhand reports saying this stuff is happening. So they very clearly, meaning the people on the ground dealing with this, think that it is happening.
And there is the difference between their opinions right there on this matter, or their takes, you know what I'm saying? Is that JD Vance is leaning on what do people on the ground, what do actual, like, everyday people, what are they saying? So in a certain sense, you could see he's listening to the people, the everyday constituents of Springfield, Ohio, in that area, right? Whereas the anchor is just listening to a town official. And that's all they're willing to do, is listen to the town official. They're not actually willing to, as a reporter, that, you know, that kind of reporter is not actually willing to go and find out and do like on the ground reporting. So that's just the distinction right there, right? So where, you know, the sources of where they're getting the information are different.
And I think that it's important for journalists to actually get on the ground and uncover this stuff for themselves when you have a lot of people saying, my pets are being abducted, or geese at the city pond are being abducted and slaughtered right in front of us. This is crazy stuff. And again, whether those exact rumors turn out to be mostly true, somewhat true, whatever the case may be, Caitlin, this town has been ravaged by 20,000 migrants coming in.
And that's the real story. Someone in my comments on the previous video was saying, like, oh, JD Vance lied. And he even admitted that he lied just because he wanted attention. And I felt like that was such a weird, jaded way to say it. Like, he, as far as I know, this is the only interview I know where he talked about it. Maybe there's another one. I didn't really do a whole bunch of deep research, so this is kind of just like my take on it. But it seems to me that what JD Vance is saying is that we have these reports. We don't know how true they are. Or, you know, we don't know how widespread the problem is. But they are so crazy that it warrants at least some kind of investigating, because many people. Plus, there have been strange videos online, you know, and I even put one of them in my previous video. So there's something going on with eating cats and dogs, but there's also a way bigger issue there, which is 20,000 migrants coming to that country all at once, and it's not being talked about until now.
Healthcare costs are up, housing costs are up, communicable diseases like HIV and TB have skyrocketed in this small Ohio town. This is what Kamala Harris's border policies have done.
That's why they want to reduce it to, oh, the right is just spreading conspiracy theories, because they want to shift away from the immigration policies of the United States that the left is promoting. So that's a double-edged sword of using a controversial topic, like a meme topic of eating cats, eating pets, you know. That's the double-edged sword, because you do invite the criticism of, oh, it's just such an absurd thing. It's probably not happening at the scale, or not at all. You know, it's not happening at the scale that the right is saying, and so they're just using it. They're just using it to gain attention. But it's like, okay, well, what else is going on there? You know, the car accidents that are out of control, right? The services that are being offered, like even getting the driver's license in the first place for migrants. Long story short, they're getting it via a shortcut that most U.S. citizens, normal U.S. citizens, they don't get the same shortcut. There's lines at the DMV offices. One officer was saying it's like 9-to-1 of the migrants to actual citizens in that area. 9-to-1 that were being served at the DMV. So it's so many people.
And I think it's interesting, Caitlin, that the media didn't care about the carnage wrought by these policies until we turned it into a meme.
That's the whole point right there. Let's back it up and hear him say it again.
Border policies have done. And I think it's interesting, Caitlin, that the media didn't care about the carnage wrought by these policies until we turned it into a meme about cats. And that speaks to the media's failure to care about what's going on in these communities. If we have to meme about it to get the media to care, we're going to keep on doing it.
And what's wrong with that? If the meme is a controversial topic that, kind of exaggerated a little bit, maybe it is, but yet it does pave a way to be able to shed light on this subject where literal damage is being done to this town because of bad policy. It should be discussed. The news should be covering it. But as he's saying, the news doesn't cover it until it becomes something that they might be able to ridicule. So basically, the media got baited, dude. They got baited.
Because the media should care about what's going on.
I saw you say.
There you go. That's what I wanted to clear up about, the one guy I was saying on my channel. So actually, let me just show you some of those comments real quick. This dude says, this is a statistic from over 5 years ago. 95% of adults in Ohio admit to using crystal meth. Now, I'm not sure. I don't know about that statistic, to be honest. But if that is an issue, that's one more issue with that area, right? It says, Vance now admits he lied about people eating cats and dogs, saying he did it for social media attention. And I wrote, I think Vance was pretty clear the night of the debate about where he stands in that interview with CNN, so I don't think you call it lying. But as you point out, there are some alarming things happening in Ohio. Even this morning, last night, news is coming out about human trafficking involving a wealthy dude, among others. And so with many reporters investigating pet eating, maybe they'll stumble upon these other more sinister things that are happening there. This guy responds, okay, I called it lying when Vance said we made it up. Did he say that? Where? I want to know. I don't know where he said that. So anyway, I just saw so he says he's seen a new Vance interview where he said he made it up because he wanted to get the attention of reporters. Really? And this is what he's going to criticize Vance. A vice presidential candidate in a very public election, someone who has a mic shoved in his face everywhere he goes, and he has to lie to get attention? Wow. He's not gaining the attention for himself. It's pointing to the problem in Ohio. So I don't know what he's really saying there, unless he has a very cynical take of, well, in a certain sense, it's to bring attention to poor policy. So I agree with that. And then I wrote, I'll keep a lookout for this interview. Nonetheless, I've seen the cat barbecue videos myself. One is at least a year old. I showed it in this video. There's another with a dog on a spit in someone's backyard. Dude, for real. There's literally a dog on a spit and they're turning the dog. And it's not one of these videos that's in Haiti. It's one that's... Actually, that one might have been another state. Maybe I'm wrong on that one, but I definitely seen that shit. So anyway, I don't think he's lying since there's actual video. Why call it lying? He just said the thing that would be most controversial in order to draw attention. It's not like he's lying about this stuff because because again, there's the people on the ground, the people living there are saying these things, right? If there's something legitimately bad going down, don't you think it's a smart move to draw attention to it? I mean, if there's nothing going on there and it's just to draw attention or to get attention from low IQ voters, then I'd be frustrated. So if this was just bait to gain attention for the Trump campaign and nothing was actually going on there, like that I think would be definitely frustrating, because what is the point of using something like that? So it's like, for instance, I'm going to make an analogy to clickbait. Whenever you see a clickbait video, right? If there's a clickbait title to a video and you click on it and it talks about something completely different, then you're completely disappointed with that video and you give it a thumbs down or whatever, rightly so. But if there's a clickbait title and it leads you to click on the video to find out more, and the video is actually interesting or has something important to say, like, how often are you forgiving of the clickbait title? You know what I mean? Like, we understand what a clickbait title is, but the thing is if you don't deliver something of value or worth. If there's nothing that follows up, right, then that's when you get mad. That's when you get mad. But you're more forgiving when something actually good comes along. And then this guy says, I'm not saying Vance lied. He's saying it. Well, I'm gonna disagree with you there. I don't think he said it. Many people feel he should be responsible for the criminal acts people committed in the name. Okay, so this for the criminal acts people committed in the names of dogs has been infield. You also has to be believed in videos I've never seen. That's like a cold morning in the drums. Well, I definitely showed one in the video that you're responding to, you know. So here, I didn't actually show them. I just kind of showed them, like highlighted them right here. I didn't really want to actually show them, you know what I mean? But yeah, so here's one that's from that area. So you're responding to a video where, you know, something there, you know. So this part is crazy. I heard somebody talking about how there were bomb threats or something like that being called into Springfield area in response to this, but I don't know what criminal acts he's talking about. I know that the bomb threats were being called in from other countries, actually. Like the origin was from other countries. Now, maybe people just using a VPN or something. I don't know. But I'll have to look more into that. So this is definitely, if this is happening, then that's kind of like the double-edged sword kind of, this is the kind of double-edged sword of the meme. All Springfield bomb. Okay, so here's another thing. All Springfield bomb threats were actually hoaxes. Some originated overseas.